None of us is without flaws. We all experience moments where we don't live up to our own standards. But there's a vital distinction between a person who has imperfections and tries to do good, and someone who intentionally spreads harm. It's a harsh reality that some individuals seem to thrive on the suffering of others. These people repeatedly hurt those around them. Sometimes this behavior is rooted in unresolved trauma. Other times, it stems from deep-seated psychological issues. But whatever the reason, they are not people you should allow into your life. The good news is, with awareness, you can learn to recognize 5 key signs that reveal when someone is bringing you more harm than help. When viewed through the principles of Stoicism, you not only become better at accepting your own shortcomings, but also more mindful of others' intentions. This awareness isn't meant to distance you from people, but rather to help you navigate life with greater wisdom. Stoicism teaches us to see clearly, not to judge, but to understand. In doing so, we can foster deeper connections and a life filled with purpose and peace. In this video, we'll uncover 5 signs that reveal when someone harbors malicious intent, all guided by Stoic insight. That way, we can all learn to walk with clarity, guided by the light of wisdom and truth. Number 1, the urge to control people are often drawn to power. The craving to command and manipulate others may seem natural, even instinctive. It's tied to the human desire for influence and leadership. But from a Stoic point of view, control takes on a different meaning. Real power doesn't come from forcing others to obey. It comes from mastering your own behavior. The Stoics teach that true control is inward. It's about how we manage our feelings, our reactions, and our perception of events. In its truest form, control is not about dominance, but about inner resilience and self-command. Stoic philosophy teaches us that true strength comes from understanding and accepting a powerful truth. The only thing we ever fully control is ourselves, our thoughts, our perspective, and how we choose to respond to life's events. Everything else, whether it's the behavior of others or unpredictable circumstances, is beyond our influence. In relationships, control often hides behind the mask of affection or concern. A person might believe they are acting out of love by trying to guide or protect someone, but this is a mistaken understanding. According to Stoicism, genuine love respects the autonomy of each person and recognizes that no one can or should control another. Controlling behavior can show up in many ways. It might look like excessive jealousy, unfair demands, or restrictions placed on another's independence. These actions are often rooted in deep insecurity and fear, revealing more about the controller's inner turmoil than anything else. At the heart of it lies selfishness and a failure to grasp the deeper meaning of love, which is rooted in trust and respect. Control doesn't bring closeness, it creates distance. It damages relationships by undermining trust and creating emotional pain. In the long run, it stunts both personal growth and mutual connection, affecting self-worth on both ends. To resist the urge to control, Stoicism encourages us to embrace understanding and acceptance. Recognize that every person has the right to their own freedom and autonomy. Instead of trying to change others, focus on mastering your own reactions, your emotions, and your choices. In doing so, you not only become a better partner or friend, but also open the path to a more liberated and purposeful life. Let go of the need to control and embrace the peace that comes with respecting the independence of those around you. Jack and Julia offer a relatable example of this concept. Their relationship started with a foundation of deep love and trust. But over time, Jack developed a quiet, growing fear of losing Julia. In his attempt to shield her from imagined threats and invisible dangers, he gradually became overbearing. He started disapproving of some of Julia's friends, claiming they had a harmful influence on her. Jack also criticized her clothing choices, insisting it was only because he wanted her to be seen with respect. Sadly, his actions weren't coming from true care, but from fear, an unconscious need to control. At first, Julia tried to be understanding, even adjusting her behavior in hopes of keeping the peace. But with every compromise, Jack's control and suspicion only grew stronger. Julia began to feel like her personal space was vanishing, her freedom shrinking day by day. This led to rising tension and frequent arguments. Julia felt silenced, while Jack, overwhelmed by his own fear, clung even tighter. What once felt like a partnership slowly turned into a struggle for power and independence. Jack's desire to control was more than just insecurity. It became the very root of pain in their relationship. Not just for Julia, who felt stifled, but for Jack as well, who couldn't escape his fear of losing her. Eventually, Julia reached a point where she could no longer recognize herself in the mirror. The freedom and self-respect she once cherished had been replaced by anxiety and restriction. She knew it was time to walk away, not out of anger, but out of the need to reclaim her identity. What began as a loving bond transformed into a powerful reminder. Real love must honor freedom. As Seneca, one of the great Stoic minds, once said, "Can you no longer see a road to freedom? It lies right in front of you. Simply turn over your wrists." With those words, he reminded us all that no matter how life unfolds, we still hold the power to choose how we respond. Are you attempting to control what lies beyond your reach? Are you truly honoring your own freedom and that of others? Stoic philosophy is more than a set of guiding principles. It's a constant reminder of the power we hold within to face life's challenges with resilience. In the next part of our journey, we'll explore how to put these ideas into practice, helping us cultivate inner calm and lasting strength, and guiding us toward becoming the best versions of ourselves. Number 2. The mask of charm. Picture this. Within the winding paths of everyday interactions, you suddenly find yourself drawn into something enchanting. It's as if you've stepped into a realm of magic, where a single look can make your heart skip a beat. Someone's presence feels magnetic, their words comforting, their energy irresistible. This connection seems almost natural, born from our innate desire to feel seen, accepted, and loved. But when viewed through the lens of Stoicism, a deeper truth begins to surface, a truth shaped by awareness, wisdom, and clarity. What lies beneath the charm? Stoicism invites us to look beyond appearances, to question the intent behind the attraction. That dazzling charisma can sometimes be more than personality. It can be a mask. It may be used deliberately as a way to influence, manipulate, or even control. These people often present themselves as generous, thoughtful, and trustworthy. But beneath the surface, hidden motives may lurk, self-serving aims wrapped in kindness. Stoic philosophy teaches us the value of pausing and observing, of understanding not only others, but also our own instincts, especially when encountering someone whose allure seems almost too perfect. Stoicism teaches us to pause and reflect. What's the real intention behind someone's charm? Do they truly care about your well-being, or is their kindness a calculated move, a step toward a hidden agenda? There's a key difference between sincere allure and manipulative charm. It all comes down to intention and the result of their actions. A genuinely compassionate person gives without expecting something in return. On the other hand, someone who uses charm as a tool is often driven by self-interest and personal benefit. Stoic philosophy urges us to listen to our instincts and identify red flags early. Sometimes, in the middle of these interactions, the polished mask begins to crack. Small details reveal what words may hide, the true motives beneath the surface. Stoicism reminds us to stay aware, to not fall for appearances or tempting offers that shine too brightly. Watch closely, because over time, actions always speak louder than words. Take Mark's story, for example. A well-respected businessman, admired for his style and grace, with a charming smile and a willingness to help. To many, he seemed like the perfect colleague, always ready to lend a hand or share a piece of advice. But over time, the shine began to dull. Hidden beneath his helpful nature was a pattern few could ignore. Mark's support often came with strings attached, unspoken expectations disguised as favors. After assisting a coworker on a tough assignment, he subtly mentioned how they might return the gesture. Later, he took charge of a promising new project, not for the team's growth, but to advance his own reputation. The truth, slowly unfolding, reminded everyone. Even the most charming masks eventually slip. These gestures aren't born from spontaneous goodwill. Instead, they are strategic moves, carefully planned actions meant to create a web of favors owed. Through this network, Mark quietly advances his goals, positioning himself for greater influence. As the truth becomes clearer, those around him begin to feel a subtle discomfort. They realize his charm might not be rooted in sincerity, but rather a clever disguise, his real aim being control and personal gain from every relationship he builds. While charm itself is a natural part of human connection, its intent determines whether it nurtures trust or exploits it. Through the lens of Stoic philosophy, we gain clarity on how to navigate such dynamics. Awareness and autonomy become our shields, tools that help us stay centered and safe from manipulation. This awareness not only allows us to protect ourselves, but also deepens our understanding of others and how they operate in our lives. Your perspective matters. Have you ever met someone who used their charm for personal advancement? What strategies can we develop to better tell the difference between genuine warmth and calculated charisma, especially in the fast-paced modern workplace? Share your stories and thoughts in the comments section below. Life often places us face to face with people who seem to carry a quiet, internal darkness. Their behavior feels at odds with empathy, kindness, or sincerity. In such moments, learning to detect and distance ourselves from their influence isn't just a skill, it's essential self-preservation. But how do we sharpen this awareness? Can anyone learn to observe and respond with balance, free from fear or confusion? Let's now examine one of the most telling signs you're dealing with someone harmful, and how Stoic thought can help guide us. Number 3, the absence of empathy. While going through a tough time, the employee informs the CEO that a close family member is gravely ill and needs care. Despite this, the CEO insists on extra hours and denies any request for leave, claiming that business must always take priority. This reaction reveals more than just poor leadership. It shows a complete lack of empathy and a disregard for human dignity. Instead of valuing the employee's emotional and physical needs, the CEO remains fixated on short-term gains, failing to see the harm being caused. The result is not only demoralization, but also a breakdown of trust and connection between employer and employee. This is where the balance between emotion and rationality becomes critically important. Stoic philosophy offers us guidance on how to face such difficult circumstances with clarity and composure. One of the major difficulties we often encounter, whether in friendships, family, or at work, is dealing with people who seem incapable of empathy. These experiences challenge us, not only to remain patient and resilient, but also to reflect on how we hold on to our values and moral integrity under pressure. While a lack of compassion is often visible in behavior and speech, its deeper consequences tend to linger long after the moment has passed. It goes beyond temporary frustration. The emotional toll placed on those affected is significant, leading to increased stress, feelings of worthlessness, and a sense of isolation. Worse, such behavior infects the workplace, creating a toxic atmosphere where genuine cooperation and mutual respect are replaced by fear and resentment. Over time, trust erodes, communication weakens, and the overall energy and productivity of the environment begin to suffer. Creativity withers, and the space once meant to encourage growth becomes stifling and cold. This shows that even when we try to tolerate or ignore someone's lack of empathy, its effects quietly linger and cause deeper damage over time. In such moments, the most valuable thing we can control is our response. When you come across a lack of empathy, take a step back and evaluate the situation with clarity. Avoid letting negative emotions cloud your judgment. Show kindness not just to others, but to yourself. Remember, everyone is dealing with their own unseen struggles, and compassion is the bridge that connects and heals, rather than divides and wounds. Seneca, one of the most influential Stoic thinkers, once stated, "It is not what you endure that matters, but how you endure it." His words remind us that no matter the circumstance, we always hold the power to shape our reaction. Even in the face of hardship, we can choose a response rooted in strength and wisdom. This mindset not only helps us rise above our challenges, but also transforms us into a beacon of hope and resilience for the people around us, showing them that dignity and inner strength are always within reach. In our journey through life, we will inevitably meet individuals who seem void of empathy. But Stoic principles equip us to face such moments with awareness, patience, and compassion. They remind us to remain grounded in our values and to navigate hardship without losing our integrity. When we do this, we don't just shield ourselves, we also become active contributors to a more compassionate world, one where understanding and kindness take the lead. So next time you encounter coldness or indifference, pause and reflect. How can you embody compassion, both for others and for yourself. In what moments do we find it hardest to remain compassionate? And what tools can help us rise above these moments? We hope this video offered you some meaningful insights. If you found the message valuable and would like to support our journey, please like and share this video with others. Together, we can grow a more mindful and uplifting community. Number 4, the web of lies. Have you ever felt a tightness in your chest when faced with deceit? When someone with harmful intent weaves a web of lies around you? These people often use dishonesty like a weapon, not caring about the emotional damage they cause. Their lies aren't just simple falsehoods. They're calculated tools meant to hide the truth, gain control, and manipulate those around them. Pathological lying often shows itself through repeated, unnecessary fabrications used to serve selfish motives such as gaining power, avoiding blame, or manipulating outcomes. Common signs include ever-changing stories, inconsistencies, and defensive or exaggerated reactions when confronted. In work environments, such behavior can be especially toxic. It disrupts harmony, destroys trust, and drains team morale and productivity. To handle such deceitful individuals, Stoic philosophy suggests a measured and clear-minded approach. Rather than reacting emotionally, it teaches us to remain grounded and alert. By staying calm and focused, we keep control of our thoughts and avoid falling prey to manipulation. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of not allowing another person's lies to govern our emotions or influence our decisions. Take the example of Anna, a committed accountant who starts to notice errors and strange patterns in the reports of her colleague, Tom. While Tom paints himself as an ideal candidate for promotion, he falsely claims credit for achievements that never happened, inflating his success to gain favor. In every meeting, Tom would exaggerate his accomplishments, presenting himself as an exceptional and irreplaceable asset. Anna, although taken aback and disappointed, chose not to react impulsively. Instead, she kept her composure and began quietly documenting the inconsistencies in Tom's reports, along with the incorrect descriptions of projects she was familiar with. She knew that staying calm and collecting solid proof was the wisest approach. When she finally had gathered enough evidence, Anna requested a private meeting with her manager. During the discussion, she presented all her findings clearly and professionally, never letting on that she was personally affected or upset by the situation. Upon reviewing Anna's evidence, the manager took immediate action. He launched a detailed investigation into all relevant reports and took steps to reevaluate how employee performance was assessed within the company. As a result, not only was Tom's dishonesty addressed, but a broader culture shift toward integrity and transparency began to take root. Anna's thoughtful and strategic response had sparked meaningful change. In navigating the web of lies, we've seen the wisdom of applying Stoic principles in challenging moments. Even when faced with difficult people, we can choose to respond with clarity and strength. As Marcus Aurelius once said, the object of life is not to be on the side of the majority, but to escape finding oneself in the ranks of the insane. Let courage and clarity continue to guide us forward. Let's walk this path together and play our part in building a world grounded in truth and mutual respect. In the intricate world of human interactions, manipulation often thrives in the background, hidden behind an outward facade of perfection and charm. However, Stoic philosophy reminds us that we must always be prepared for the harsher truths of life. Deception can take many forms, and domination often stems from a deep-seated desire for control, an unquenchable thirst for power. Manipulators use these desires to create elaborate schemes, weaving webs of lies to ensnare others. Those who seek to dominate often treat others like puppets, pulling the strings to bend them to their will. To avoid falling into these traps, we must hone our intuition and sharpen our minds, recognizing the subtle signs of manipulation that may arise. Deceivers often employ tactics such as excessive flattery or false displays of empathy to mask their true intentions. Beneath the surface, however, lies a cold and calculated agenda, one driven by a psychological need to exploit and control. The repercussions of being ensnared in such webs of deception are far-reaching, often leaving deep emotional scars. Once the layers of deceit are peeled away, victims may find themselves trapped, their sense of autonomy and self-worth diminished. The trust they once held in others is shattered, relationships broken, and lives turned upside down. Stoic philosophy offers valuable guidance in the face of such manipulation, helping us build resilience through self-awareness and the practice of meditation. To guard ourselves against the allure of deception, Stoic philosophers urge us to seek virtue and inner strength. Only through the trials of adversity can our true patience and resilience be tested. As we journey through the challenges posed by deception, it's crucial to pause and reflect on the vulnerabilities and fears within us that deceivers often seek to exploit. How can we cultivate discernment and patience in a world filled with deception? By embracing the principles of Stoic philosophy, we can navigate through these turbulent times with reason and bravery. Remember the words of Epictetus, who wisely said, "It is not events that disturb people, it is their judgments concerning them." In the face of deceit, make deliberate choices and foster the virtues that lead to true freedom and inner peace. We often encounter unexpected difficulties and individuals who bring negativity into our lives. Yet, in Stoic philosophy, understanding how to recognize the signs of negative people is a vital part of self-protection and personal growth. The journey is not just about identifying the signs of evil, it's about digging deeper into our own nature. Questions like, who are we truly? And what is human nature? Will guide us on this path. We'll explore not only the surface-level signs of evil, but also the deeper layers of the soul, helping us understand ourselves better and ultimately build a more authentic and meaningful life. In our everyday lives, we navigate a world full of diversity, where individuals from various cultures and backgrounds cross paths. During this journey, we meet a range of people, from those who exude kindness and trustworthiness to others who may have a detrimental impact on our lives. In such a world, recognizing and protecting ourselves from individuals with harmful intentions becomes crucial. Stoic philosophy, one of the classical schools of thought, not only guides us on how to navigate life's challenges, but also equips us with the tools to identify the signs of negative individuals and apply them to our daily interactions. By embracing this philosophy, we can unlock a deeper understanding of ourselves and our surroundings. An unexpected revealing sign often appears when we least expect it. Malicious individuals tend to disguise their true intentions behind friendly and caring exteriors. They manipulate words and actions to appear sincere, yet their kindness may be nothing more than a facade. Stoicism emphasizes the value of sincerity and transparency in our interactions. It teaches us to look beyond the surface, to observe whether someone's actions align with their words. One of the primary traits of harmful individuals is their refusal to accept responsibility for their actions. They frequently shift the blame onto others or external factors, avoiding accountability at all costs. Stoicism encourages us to focus on what we can control, to accept what we cannot, and most importantly, to take full responsibility for our actions, no matter the circumstances. A clear indication of a negative individual is their inability to empathize with others. Such people are uninterested in the emotions or needs of those around them, focusing only on their own self-interest. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of empathy and community, viewing these qualities as the core of healthy relationships. The ability to connect and understand others is fundamental, and those who lack this often lead lives marked by isolation and selfishness. This absence of empathy is a powerful sign of malevolent intentions, which is why Stoic philosophy urges us to foster meaningful bonds built on mutual respect and understanding. Another trait of those with harmful intentions is the abuse of power. These individuals seek to dominate and control others, often exploiting their position to manipulate or even harm. In contrast, Stoicism advocates for the wise and just use of power, encouraging leaders to prioritize the welfare of the community rather than personal gain or oppression. Those who misuse power for control can create toxic environments, but Stoicism teaches us to use our influence responsibly, promoting fairness and equality. In this way, we not only protect ourselves, but also contribute to a more ethical and balanced society. We hope that this video has helped you recognize the warning signs of negative individuals and has added valuable strength to your life. Remember, it's not enough to simply identify these signs. Action is key. I'd like to ask you, have you ever come across any of these signs? How did you protect yourself from these potential threats? If you found this video insightful, don't hesitate to like and share it with others to spread this important message. To keep receiving valuable content, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. We appreciate you taking the time to watch and engage with us on the wisdom of Stoic philosophy. Thank you again for joining us today. In a world filled with challenges, true strength lies in our ability to control our reactions and choose the path of virtue. Keep watching the next videos displayed at the end of today's video, and let Stoic principles guide you toward inner peace and strength. Goodbye, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.